Hey everyone, and welcome to From the Depths. I'm Menti, and this is the second episode of my Cruiser Clash tournament. We have Shak's Terror facing off, or Shak's Terror by Amime, which I'm probably pronouncing wrong, and facing off against Task Force Danalite by Breakthrough. I'm probably saying Danalite wrong as well. I apologize for that, but yeah, it's just the way language is. I pronunciation, and enunciation. I need to work on that. Uh, Anyway, if you'd like to know more about these ships and more in detail about their weapons, armor, shielding, all that sort of thing, I've done overview videos for every craft in this tournament, and the link to the playlist of those can be found in the description. With that, let's get this battle underway. So, Shak's Terror taking off like a bat out of hell. It is a very fast craft. It does like 140 something meters per second. It does have some turning issues, though, and as you can see, it's already getting really far away. Really far away. It is now out of range. Hopefully it can turn and get back in here. Otherwise, it will be disqualified. It needs to get back under 2,000 meters. It has 40 seconds to do so. Does seem to be closing in now. It's really running out of time though. 27 seconds. And it's back in range just in time. It's 16 seconds left on the clock. Gonna have to keep an eye on that, make sure it doesn't do that again. Okay, damage report. Everybody's 100%. Everybody's doing fine. No damage has really been done yet. Those heat rounds on the... Oh, looks like we're getting kind of far. Still in range for now. Hopefully it turns and does not go back out of 2,000 meters again, because it only has 16 seconds left on its disqualification clock. Oh, there it is. It's out of range again. Oh wait, no, it isn't. No, it isn't. It's still in range of this one by quite a bit, so that's fine. As long as it's in range of something. We're not going to penalize it. Kind of a boring battle so far. Honestly, the Shak's Terror is very hard to catch with how fast it is. These missiles have no chance of hitting it. They're never going to connect. The Shak's Terror does not seem to be getting its missile volleys off either because of its lack of turning and how far away it gets. It still in range for the moment, which is good. Basically, the only thing that's working is the cannons, and they don't seem to be doing much to the Danalites. Or, well, one is called the Danalite, and one is called the Danubrite. Yeah, I probably screwed that up too. Oh well. These anti-missile cannons aren't doing much because they're anti-missile cannons and there aren't any missiles in the air for them to shoot at. These crams, never going to hit something as fast as the Shak's Terror. This might be one of those battles that goes the distance twice and neither side ends up with any points. That's unfortunate. A bit boring, but we'll see. You never know. Those heat shells could land a lucky strike. Could get in there and hit something important and suddenly allow the Shak's Terror to do some damage. But I really have no hope of Task Force Danalite being able to do any damage to Shak's Terror whatsoever. I don't see that happening. They don't have the weaponry for it. If those missiles were faster, they definitely could, but they aren't. I don't even think they're as fast as the Shak's Terror here. Getting kind of far again, but we're looking fine. Definitely in range. It got really close in the beginning there to getting itself disqualified, but it made it back in time. You know, it's getting awfully close to being out of range again. It's at 1900 for one, 1700 for another. It's really liking hanging out on this extreme range, just because of its how fast it is, and it doesn't turn the greatest. Yeah, I guess it'd be more entertaining to watch and see whether any of these heat shells manage to land and do something. And ooh, man, the Danalites can turn. That was a pretty sharp turn there. But all they can do is launch. All they're seeming able to do is launch missiles that have zero chance of ever touching the Shak's Terror. The only hope of any real damage being done in this match are the heat shells from the Shak's Terror, hitting against those shields, detonating, and shooting those streams of copper inside. But it doesn't appear to be damaging anything yet. I mean, there are some blocks here that are, you know, darker colored. They've taken some damage, but as much time as it takes for that to happen, like a single repair bot can handle that damage. It's no big deal. So it's really going to come down to whether or not the Shak's Terror can get a lucky shot in on a critical component of the Danalites. Or, well, the Danalite or the Danabrite. These might do rather well against the heavy burden as well, since they're rather slow, well smoked, and rocking cram cannons. They may fare rather well against the heavy burden as well. What I want to see is a fight between Task Force Danalite and Ironsides. Like, that's going to be a fun fight. I'm looking forward to seeing that one. That will be quite interesting, I think. Yeah, it's a shame that the Shak's Terror is so hard to damage, and the Task Force Danalite has most of its firepower concentrated in those crams that aren't even targeting the thing. It's too far away, I think. Or maybe they have a limit to the maximum speed that they'll fire at or something like that, but they are not even aiming, let alone firing. Yep, still no damage done. The armor seems to be holding up really well against the heat shells from the Shak's Terror. And the Sabo can't get through this just massive, super quantity shields. Like, there's a lot of disruption and deflection shields in there that are just making Sabo really not work. Kind of a shame. I'd like to see the Shak's Terror launch some missiles, just so we can see those anti-missile cannons in action, see how effective they are. But it's not looking like that's going to happen. We've got 2 minutes and 10 seconds left in regulation. Yep, Shak's Terror is behaving now. It has gotten into its preferred flight pattern. and is just doing circles, much like what the Puddle Strider does. The Puddle Strider does it at a much shorter range and has more firepower in its cannons. Honestly, it may have more firepower altogether. I'm not entirely sure, but the Shak's Terror is definitely faster by a significant margin. It's like 50% faster. Yeah, there's not been a single percentage point of damage done to either side. Oh, we lost a block. We lost a block. Still not enough for a percentage point of damage, but at least a block fell off. Ooh, highlight. That's the play of the game for you Overwatch fans out there. Yes, I like Overwatch as well, but we're here for From the Depths. And so far, I think that's been the only block of damage that's been done, and it's already repaired. So yes, it's seeming like Shak's Terror spent a bit much on its speed and not enough on its firepower. So it's not managing to pull off any damage, while the Danalites, or Task Force Danalite, has all of their power, well, most of their power concentrated into missiles that are not fast enough and cram cannons that aren't even trying. So, unfortunately, this has been a rather uneventful fight. Not the most exciting battle here, but... Oh, and there it is. That is time. Everybody's 100%. This is a draw. Nobody gets any points. So, I will get this reset. Oh, shoot. Well, I'll be back because I left it paused, and there seems to be currently a bug in From the Depths where if you restart the designer while the game is paused, it just gives you a black screen and you can't do anything. You have to restart the game entirely. So I'll be back in a moment. Okay, everyone, we're back. I went ahead and just spawned everything in, just cut that out. Since I had to cut the video anyway due to that bug, I figured I may as well just skip that and get straight to the battle again. So here we go. Going to need to keep an eye on the distance that the Shak's Terror puts on in the beginning of the match here. Ooh, it sounds like it's actually doing some hits in the start this time. And it is out of range. Okay. Got the clock on that. Be watching it. It did manage to return to range last time, so see if it can do it again, otherwise it will be disqualified. But it only barely made it back last time. It's still out there. It's got 20 seconds. It's back, okay. So yeah, I made it back about the same time as it did before. It has 15 seconds left on its disqualification clock. And that is, as explained in the rules, that clock does not reset if you spend 60 seconds out of range in a single battle. You are disqualified. It is not 60 seconds in one go, it is 60 seconds total. That is also why the range goes all the way out to 2 kilometers. It gives craft like this, fast craft, the opportunity to be able to function still, because at shorter ranges they just wouldn't be able to make the turns. But it looks like this battle is going to go pretty much exactly like the previous one did. Just a bunch of shells raining in, nothing really happening from them, missiles that try to chase a ship that's faster than it but can't catch it, and smoke clouds for some reason. I'm not entirely sure. Oh, because of the... Right. The Shak's Terror has a laser-guided missiles. Right, so... It's like I would focus more over on the Shak's Terror, but then, like, nothing is happening over here with it, because the only weapons being fired at it are the missiles, and the missiles have no chance of ever catching it. Like, absolutely no chance. It's like I can barely catch it with the camera. It's just bobbing around, firing its shotgun blasts of shells. Doing its best to do some damage, but as you can see, it's not happening. Just going to keep an eye on that range. So it doesn't seem like it's going to go out of range once it picks up its flight pattern. But it gets awfully close to getting disqualified there in the beginning. Yeah, 6 minutes, just under 6 minutes left in regulation here. We'll see if the Shak's Terror can manage to land something, or maybe the Crams can even aim. Like, I hope that when he updated the blueprint, because he did update the blueprint for me for the lack of input of assigning the inputs on the forward guns on this. I just hope he didn't do something to break the AI on the cram cannons, because they're not even trying. They're not even aiming. They're just there. It probably has a maximum speed that it's allowed to shoot at, or maybe a maximum range. And the Shak's Terror is exceeding that. Oh, excuse me. Excuse me. Yeah. Yeah, hopefully the remaining battles will be more exciting. Both of these ships, they have more defense than offense, and so they're both just turtling each other and unable to do anything. And that is why I adopted the rules that Xionics suggested in making draws actually worth 0, rather than rewarding you. It's like you actually get more of a reward for losing than you do for a draw. Granted, it's only 1 point, but it's the Shak's Terror staying in range now. Just barely. And while it is difficult to hit, it also, without those missiles, without those missile strikes, it just doesn't seem to have the firepower to actually do much of anything. I don't know if their missiles are limited by range or if they're limited by a fire angle or what, but they... Oh man, excuse me. the missiles on the Shak's Terror aren't even firing. We've got both craft with a completely inactive weapon system, and defense is too strong for the bah. Their defenses are too strong for the one active weapon system that is fighting them. So it looks like this is going to be a draw both matches. I've run out of things to say. I know it sucks to just have silence in the video, especially when the video doesn't really have much going on. But only a minute and 21 seconds left of this, and then I will be calling the draw almost assuredly. It's like if they haven't done enough damage to each other at this point, chances are they're not going to. I don't even know. I haven't been paying close attention, but I don't even know if a block has fallen off this time. I'll give the Shak's Terror some more screen time. And then watch, as soon as I do that, like, it'll score a hit on every single ammo rack on one of the Danalites all at once and just make it go up in a huge ball of fire, and I'll miss it. Yeah, those custom jet engines on this are quite powerful, and like it can't be a firing angle limitation because this missile rack on the back here is what do you call it? It's on a turret. Like, it is able to rotate. So it should be able to rotate completely broadside and fire at those. It does seem to be laser designated, which will pose a problem because those craft are well smoked. Oh, and there it is. That is the end of regulation. As you can see, everybody is still 100%, no damage taken whatsoever, so this is another draw. No points are awarded for this battle, unfortunately. But hey, we'll see if other things are more exciting in the future, alright? So, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the battlefield.